Tonight on News 5 Live, the United Democratic Party stages a protest ahead of Wednesday's House meeting. The opposition objects to exorbitant cost of fuel, as well as the high cost of living. The opposition questions government's case to settle the BISL debt, and the Public Service Union weighs in on a brewing issue at the Audit Department. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Make your summer better. Over $35,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Purchase any device, sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan, use $50 or more regular prepaid credit, do a SIM swap, or text to the short code. You win 8946. And in the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase. Each entry costs only 50 cents.
Don't waste any time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes starting July 1st. All methods give you more chances to win. Airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize of a $10,000 shopping spree courtesy Court and Smart.
Promotion ends September 16, 2022. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
Thank you for supporting us throughout our journey over the years. Thank you for helping us to expand and improve our products and services. Thank you for allowing us to form new partnerships and develop new and exciting promotions. And thank you for being patient with us during these changing times. As we continue our journey, we would like to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve you.
Venice, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings. Quality and savings.
So let's end it with a bang. Come see kids from all over the country while they take center stage to show off their talent on Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2022. That's right. Mark your calendars. Friday, August 26th at 6:30 a.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive. Come and start your mind and right with kids singing and dancing. Also, come take advantage of great food, entertainment, and loads of back-to-school giveaways, including gifts for the first 100 kids who enter the fest. And the best thing of all, entrance is free. So, what are you waiting for? Set your alarm and pencil in that date because Summerfest 2022 is one event you don't want to miss. Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, August 23rd. I am Sabrina Daly. The United Democratic Party took to the streets of Belize City today in protest. After failing to acquire the necessary permits from the Belize Police Department to demonstrate, the UDP still went ahead and executed its plan to march against the cost of fuel. However, protesters were brought together at a time when the party's leadership is divided. So there were a few senior members who were noticeably absent from the front lines today, including Patrick Faber and Tracy Panton. Notwithstanding their non-appearance, the demonstration was carried out without incident. Police officers were stationed at various points along the route, but they were only there to maintain the peace and not to put a stop to the march. News 5's Paul Lopez reports on what was the first organized UDP rally since they were voted out of office in November 2020.
Today's protest, organized by the UDP, began at their headquarters on Youth for the Future Drive. Protesters made their way onto Vernon Street and then onto Central American Boulevard. There, they made a brief stop in front of a Shell gas station purportedly owned by Prime Minister John Briceño, to protest against the current fuel prices. UDP party leader Moses Shine Barrow was among those leading the protest.
Enough is enough. It is time for action. Lower the gas prices, lower the cost of living, bring relief to the people. We are tired of Johnny Briceño going into the House of Representatives telling us that he understands but doing nothing. People are suffering.
Barrow was flanked by former Belize City Councillor Philip Willoughby, his second deputy, Beverly Williams, the former area representative for Belize Rural North, Edmund Castro, and the former Belmopan area representative, John Saldivar.
Well, I'm here to support the party and my party leader to let the world and country know that we are behind Honorable Shine as our party leader. We are united. We are definitely fighting against the situation in the country right now with respect to cost of living. We have to. This is intolerable and it is unnecessary. All the other countries of the world, in fact in our region, are coming up with some kind of package to help to relieve poor people from these prices. Not here in Belize. Instead, we keep the price of gas elevated. Why? Because they want to get back revenues while the people suffer.
From the Shell gas station, the procession made its way down to Cemetery Road and onto Youth for the Future Drive at UDP headquarters, where the protest came to an end. Party leader Barrow says the UDP will continue to take action until the Briceño administration lowers the cost of fuel.
We are bringing attention to the problems of this nation, and we will continue to take action until we see measurable responses from the government, and ultimately these results will be that we will form the next government, because people are tired. People are tired of the pain and suffering. This is not about me. This is about the Belizean people who are suffering. You are suffering. Everyone is suffering. The business community is suffering. The poor people are suffering. The gas prices need to come down.
And while there was skepticism on Monday as to whether or not the UDP would receive support for its protest, the party was able to draw a gathering. Party Chairman Michael Perifeet spoke with reporters about the turnout and questions about whether any promises of handouts were made to protesters.
Promises of a better Belize, we don't pay people to demonstrate. So if 5 people come out, like I said on the radio yesterday, I mean, just me and me, all right. But, you know, we tell people that this is what we're doing and people choose to join. We don't organize it to the extent like that. We say we will meet here, we will move off from here, walk orderly to the gas station and then come back. So that's all the organizing that we did.
But you know how these things work. Some people will expect a $50 or something like that after the protest.
And I did not expect Jennifer Lopez to marry Ben Affleck again. But that's my disappointment. You can expect anything you want. But what I'm saying is that that's not our plans. That's not what we did. That was not what you do when you're trying to rebuild organically a mass party like the UDP. You cannot pay people to be a part of a movement. You cannot pay people to be a part of a party. They have to believe in you, and we have to demonstrate that we believe in them and the nation, and that's what brought out everybody here today.
My name is Rinaldo Samuel. Like a delegate of the UDP, I am proud to say this, that I believe Johnny is time to make him move from here.
It's the best protest that we have had since the UP took over. Yeah, prices are too high. I can buy a cup of coffee this morning and raise it to 50 cents. Wow. What do you think of the gas?
In Beijing right now, I ain't got JOB.
Yeah.
And first thing with me, I ain't got JOB. I will try to see my politician every try to get a job, then they ain't want to give me a job. You understand where I come from, King? I need a help.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Former party leader Patrick Faber and area representative for Albert Division Tracy Panton did not attend the demonstration. Both elected members of the UDP have been at odds with the party's leader. And while the National Party Council sought to resolve the internal divide over the weekend, the absence of Faber and Panton was noticeable. One protester from the Albert Division, Clarence McKay, informed us that he was present on behalf of Tracy Panton because she had prior commitments. According to Barrow, Panton sent out a number of her supporters to join the march as a form of support. And while today Barrow saw questions on the UDP's internal turmoil as a deviation, reporters still question him on how he intends to get his house in order.
Life is hard out here and the gas prices is killing us. We have some of our supporters back in the crew behind here. My boss is in a meeting at the moment, so she can't attend. Tracy Panton. She's in a meeting, so she can't attend the rally. But her supporters are in here as well.
With the party's own internal party struggles, how are you able to mobilize?
Lower the gas prices, lower the cost of living, stop the corruption.
There's a scripture in the good book, right? Hear me out, that says that a man who cannot put his house in order is not fit to lead.
The government continues with failed policies as far as the inflation is concerned. And that is why social safety nets are so important, because any government will face fluctuating economic times, financial times.
Was it difficult to mobilize the party given you have internal struggles?
The Honorable Tracy Panton, you spoke to her secretary, I believe, her chairman. She sent her people out here. As a responsible opposition, we cannot allow distractions to take away from our responsibility to advocate on behalf of the Belizean people, and that is exactly what we are doing with the chairman, deputy party leader, and the grand leaders of this party, which are the delegates and our party faithful.
While Barrow's focus was on the exorbitant gas prices and the cost of living, John Saldivar has his eyes set on Belmopan. The UDP's National Party Council has set a deadline of September 13th for individuals who are interested in running as standard bearers to apply. Endorsement conventions will be held first in January 2023, and contested conventions will take place thereafter. When we caught up with him today, we asked Saldivar how he feels about his chances in his former constituency.
Under the last administration, you were accused of your own vote.
Not accused of corruption. So let's stop that right bloody there. I was never accused of corruption. I was accused of receiving campaign contributions from somebody for my community. And it was never proven in any court of law that I did anything illegal or unlawful.
Do you believe that your name has been redeemed enough for you to stand out here with integrity?
I have all the integrity in the world. I've never been proven to not have my integrity. People have been trying to tell a story, but nobody has come up with anything to say that I'm a corrupt person.
Sir, give me one thought on your bid in Belmopan and how that's been going and your support you're receiving in Belmopan, right?
I feel very confident. The people of Belmopan are very intelligent people. They have sifted through the noise that was there in 2020, and they understand exactly what the difference is now between a John Saldivar UDP government in Belmopan and a Mira PUP government in Belmopan. They understand the difference.
Mira is not getting the job done.
Certainly not, and certainly not in the quantity that I used to get it done.
On Monday, we told you about the discounted settlement that the government of Belize has signed on to for financial damages payable to the Belize International Services Limited. As we reported, BISL was forcibly acquired by government under former Prime Minister Dean Barrow in 2013. The initial ask for BISL was $70 million following a July 2020 CCJ ruling, which determined that the appropriation was illegal. Today, we heard from UDP Chairman Michael Parafit on the settlement.
Personally, I don't agree with it. To be honest with you, it's close to $80 million. It is a matter that will be before the Senate, I'm sure, on Monday. But my question is this: why do we become so efficient? Why are we such in a rush when it comes to pay Michael Ashcroft? That's $80 million. This man is a billionaire. This man has made hundreds of millions of dollars from Belize. He can't donate that. He can't give that to us. Even the Prime Minister, I believe, last night when he spoke, if I could understand him well, and it's difficult to understand. The amount of money we collect in 1 year, according to him, is close to about, what, $90 million? And every year the expenses of the BISL is what, $9 million? We make close to $70 to $80 million a year profit from that organization. So had we not blocked the extension of that contract, Ashcroft would have been getting all that money all these years, while now, compared to that, yes, indeed, he gets $38 million. But remember, we're able to settle on $38 million US simply because the United Democratic Party decided that that was something that was in the interest of the Belizean people to keep.
Were you negotiating the payment toward the BISL because Dean Barrow?
Well, any matter that is before the court, we try to negotiate it to see if we can get some kind of deal so that the court doesn't have to decide.
Coming up, Vulcan Materials will meet with government over proposed mine project. Details when we return.
Hello friends, this is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Though you have lain among the pots, yet shall you be as the wings of a dove covered with silver and her feathers with yellow gold." In April of 1980, I made my first trip to Belize and spent a week sharing the good news of our gospel with our dear friends at Big Falls, where I learned it rained 161 inches a year, and I think we got all 161 inches that week. At the end of our ministry there, a dear farmer friend by the name of Tony invited us to his home for a delicious Belizean meal. His home was located right on the banks of the Big Falls River. We had to walk a long way to get there, and with all the rain and mud, one could not but wonder how anyone could stay clean in such an environment. Yet after the meal, I walked outside to see his beautiful young daughter standing near the river, dressed in a white dress without spot or wrinkle. Amazed, I thought, if a person can stay that clean in such a dirty, rainy, muddy environment as this, then why can't God's children learn to stay clean in a dirty world? Our Bible verse for the day assures us that we can. While we journey through this life, we often find ourselves living among the pots of wickedness and lawlessness and brokenness and drunkenness and darkness. However, it gets better higher up. The psalmist says it best, though you have lain among the pots, yet shall you be as the wings of a dove, covered with silver and her feathers with yellow gold. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
The Belize International Music and Food Festival took place on July 30th and 31st, 2022 at the Sacachispas Field in San Pedro. During the 2 nights, La Isla Bonita came alive with music, energetic performances, and Belize's kaleidoscopic cuisine. Combining international and national performances, the festival brought together 15 well-known and up-and-coming local artists alongside 12 international artists. Local artists had the opportunity to develop their skills and elevate their performances and open the festival on both nights. To kickstart the event was the food festival with 21 vendors from San Pedro, Keycocker, Orange Walk, and Belize City. Attendees enjoyed an assortment of traditional local cuisine, street food, seafood, natural juices, and mixed drinks. As the sun set, the night became alive with vibrant performances ranging from reggae, Afrobeats, dancehall, soca, punta, to Latin. The 2-day festival was held to close in the gap between Belize's high and low tourism seasons. PGIA arrivals, which bring 90% of tourism traffic into Belize, increased by over 20% in July during the weekend of the festival. That represented over 50% an increase versus last year's visitors. As envisioned, the festival fueled economic activity on the island. Close to 9,000 persons attended the concert, with around 7,000 estimated visitors to San Pedro between July 28th to the 31st alone. Close to $5.4 million was pumped into the island community during the festival, with transportation, hotels, golf cart rentals, and other establishments, big and small, benefiting from this trickling down effect.
From the preparation to the whole festival itself, it was just a great experience. A lot of businesses as well were able to benefit from this music and food festival, and the exposure was just simply amazing. For that weekend, I believe everybody was able to make their money and just have an experience of their own to see what a festival is like. I mean, Belize never actually had an international, like a huge festival like that apart from the Costa Maya. It wasn't something that we were able to experience, and I think we should continue that.
The Belize Music and Food Festival positively impacted San Pedro Express. It was definitely an increase. We noticed early purchases of tickets heading over to San Pedro, and over the weekend, the 29th and 31st, there was a significant increase in traffic here. Typically, we wouldn't see locals traveling during this full season over to San Pedro, so the Belize Music Festival really did create an economic boost for us.
The business was very, very good because there were a lot of people here on the island, and we rent all of our golf carts and the gift shop. We had people coming in, so that was very good again. And I thank BTB for that festival they did here in San Pedro. Good, great.
The overall experience on the island, I believe it was a complete success. Our resort was sold out. Many of the establishments in town and resorts were pretty much packed. It was an overwhelming, really busy during the time that it's normally always really slow.
As a resort, we would definitely, we look forward to it next year. And I believe everyone also in San Pedro or wherever it will be hosted again, so it was positive, and I believe that it should continue.
The Belize Food and Music Festival affected my business in such a way that I now have more customers from out district. It was a success, I must say. I was very privileged to be there, and it was a good turnout sales-wise and well for my staff, because they all made a little extra, so we all won something.
Our experience at the food festival was amazing. There was a tremendous, huge crowd out there that our staff managed to handle. At the end of the day, it was successful and it was worth it.
My experience at the food festival was a fantastic evening full of Belizeans. We saw people that we haven't seen for a long time, but at the bottom line, it was such a beautiful event. The weekend was a very good weekend for all San Pedranos. The restaurant here at Elvis was packed with Belizeans and Americans, and at the festival we sold out both nights.
Well, in this post-COVID economy, it's really hard to know what to expect, but we were quite surprised in the amount of business that we got in. Was almost exclusively from locals. We had to put on extra flights. Before COVID, we used to travel every hour between San Pedro and Belize Municipal. We had to go back to an hourly service to handle the load, which was very surprising.
I am excited and can't wait for next year to offer our business for the food festival.
I just want the public to know that this was the first time ever that there is a festival where we didn't have to pay for the booth, and they gave us 3 passes for our workers. If you needed any more, well, it was done. We didn't have to worry about signs. They did it for us free, our menus, and they were beautiful. Kudos to BTB, and thank you again for the festival.
Man, it was fun, and it was just a great way to expose our business.
The grocery stores were busy, the taxis were busy, the golf cart rentals were all busy. It definitely had a positive effect on the San Pedro economy, which affects everything. As tourism, the money goes in kind of at the top of the economy and then it trickles down, so it's definitely had a positive effect.
In addition to boosting local tourism, the Belize International Music and Food Festival will further contribute to Belize's tourism and creative sectors. The profits from the festival will be used to create the Orange Economy Fund that will bring together Belize's cultural and artistic talents to strengthen the local economy. With this in mind, an investment will be made in 3 music studios in Belize City, Orange Walk, and Dangriga. This will ensure Belizean artists have access to a high-quality studio to enhance their music and raise the level of their craft. An international consulting firm has also been contracted to examine and prepare a strategy to merge Belizean music and tourism for the benefit of the artists and strengthening of our tourism product.
The festival helped me a lot more working with William Neal, very strict and direct with what he wanted, and he made sure that we execute at the end of the day. So today I am a very more confident performer, I must say, after this festival.
In regards with this show, it was another step up for the Belizean artists, not only myself, right? Because what happened is that we did the rehearsals every Sunday at Bird's Isle.
I believe that the preparations that we made to make this festival happen were very crucial, and I think it helped in the sense that we got to work closely with the band and the backup dancers.
For me, what helped me the most was the choreography, because you know, I'm a little stiff sometimes on stage. I don't know a dancer, but practicing a couple times, I missed a couple practice, but even the times that I did win actually helped me to be a little more loose, you know, getting tips from other artists and getting tips from the dancers, and William and Stump actually helped me a lot.
Yes, it's nice to have international artists on our venues, but I mean, like, we actually built the Belizean segment. So in further future references, I would love to see just Belizean artists.
At one point I found myself standing there like, wow, I'm really doing this. You know, and the minute I stepped on that stage, the crowd was like, woo.
I was glad to interact with the fans. It was a great experience, and I just hope that from here it just gets bigger and greater.
This enhanced my performances because I haven't performed ever so long, ever since COVID came, right? So I mean, like, it was a stepping game for us again.
Because of the type of show it was, and with the band and very professional, and I had the chance to sing songs that people might not know, some songs that I really, really like, you know, that isn't for like a jerk fest or those kind of show, like, you know. I had the chance to actually deliver a good performance with dancers and sing on my heart. You know, I captured a different kind of audience.
Them as the promoters, BTB and John Marsden, and I have to mention William Neal, Joseph Stamp, all of them who came together and wanted the best for us. One night we felt what it felt to feel the way international artists always, felt. So that experience, I can't even explain how grateful I am, how appreciative I am of that experience, and I can't wait to do it again.
The first Belize International Music and Food Festival was coordinated by the Belize Tourism Board in partnership with the National Institute of Culture and History, Protected Areas Conservation Trust, and the San Pedro Town Council, along with a host of sponsors. Savor the rhythm of Belize at the next Belize International Music and Food Festival.
An international mining company, Vulcan Materials, is in the process of acquiring several hundred acres of land off the coastal road near Gales Point, Manatee, in an area called White Ridge Farms. As we reported on Monday, the villagers overwhelmingly rejected the company's project proposal in fear of irreversible environmental damage that preparatory work will bring. For example, turning a hill into rocks and stones means explosives will have to be used to blast the hill. And that will kill and displace all the wildlife that live in the area. Today, News 5 visited Sugar Hill, one of the main ridges that will be torn down if Vulcan gets an environmental impact assessment approved. Here's that report.
This is Sugar Hill, the main ridge among a series of others that was named by the villagers of Gales Point. Approximately 1 mile away from the village, it stands majestically above the other elevations in the area. And from atop the ridge, it's a scenic view of the landscape below. Chairman of Gales Point, Jason Altschaff, has a degree in biology and a keen eye for the various types of life that thrive here.
You go through several ecosystems, not just one, but several, and they're all well intertwined between each other. That web of life is critical, and it is untouched here. Just the sheer sound of action and stuff will chase what animals we have back there. Peccary, loads of peccary. We do not have to go far to find armadillos or gibnuts. They're right back there. When the birds come back from their migration to the north, they stop at that mountain. We have about 5 rivers that feed this lagoon, and there's one of them right back there. There's Jenkins Creek. That's fed right past where Vulcan is going to go by.
But what the eyes do not see is what is hidden below. Leroy Andrewin, an older resident of Gales Point, is a self-styled wildlife biologist who has spent decades exploring the area. He says there is a whole different world beneath the confluence of hills.
Those hills back there have a lot of caves, and those caves have a lot of artifacts that our government don't get to yet. A lot of it. These caves have Indian factory, Maya Indian stuff. You have pottery. I know this because what I see right there when I go in there.
The chairman believes that a pair of wells that the company dug near the aquifer will also contaminate their water source.
We have 2 wellheads that are marked with Vulcan. Do not tamper, you're going to be prosecuted. But why are they there, and who gave them permission to do those wells in the first place? It's on the White Ridge property. But so we also have an agreement with White Ridge that goes back to the 80s that this one spot is for us and this aquifer is for us. We just have to share it with the farmers. If they're drilling, that could cause contaminants down into our aquifer.
Altschaff supports research papers by aquatic ecologist Dr. Ed Bowles, who considers the mining project a potential environmental threat. But in addition to all that has been said, Andrewin believes that mining in the area will also rob the village of its natural tourism advantage.
It go affect tourism, it go be affect tourism big time. Because when the tourists they come in here, so this is the beauty they like to see. When they kind of like to see that, when I take them sailing in the sailboat, this is the beauty they like to see. All of us have to fight to try to keep this.
But Vulcan's Vice President of External Affairs and Community Relations, Jimmy Fleming, who was present for the unsuccessful consultation in Gales Point on Saturday, told the media that the company is going to purchase the land, after which it would apply for an environmental impact assessment. But what if the EIA is not approved?
I'm paid to think positively, and so we'll take that question after we find out what the result is. It's an extensive process. It's something we do at a lot of our locations. The next step is to continue to answer questions and listen to the public here. I mean, this is, like I said, this was a first step in a very long process. We will be at some point beginning the environmental impact assessment, and that is a lengthy process and a very, very thorough process that looks at many, many different aspects of the operation.
In between Vulcan and its approved EIA are the Ministry of Sustainable Development and the Department of the Environment. CEO Dr. Kenrick Williams.
Well, we have received some indications from this company that they would like to do this investment in mining in the Gales Point area. Initial indication. We, of course, have received information or communication from NGOs, from the communities as to their perspective on this investment, and that's a no-go because of the perceived or potential impact.
The ministry has a meeting with representatives of Vulcan on Thursday to begin discussions about the proposed project. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
But while there is a meeting set for Vulcan Materials Company and personnel from the Ministry of Sustainable Development this week, CEO in that ministry, Kenrick Williams, told News 5 today that there has not been any formal proposals from the company, just a request for a preliminary meeting. But even before it goes into the meeting, the company's past projects is of concern to the government.
They want an EIA. We've not commenced any process. They would like to present to us the idea that they would like to develop in this area. So we've not initiated any process as it relates to the EIA. We've not received any formal indication or request for the conducting of an EIA. It's all what is really floating out there in the media. Again, save for an expressed interest to have a discussion with us about this project because of the public backlash in its initial concept stage. We've done the research on some initial analysis as to the investments being made by this company in other jurisdictions, the impact being caused by mining. We're not the experts on mining, that is the Ministry of Natural Resources and the mining department specifically. And they're part of the NIAC. They would inform us as it relates to the specificity of that process. We also do not want to prejudice any investment. So any investment that is being made, there's a legal process that they would go through, that they will indicate to us from their research and analysis and their projections. These are the potential impact as it relates to these development. I can tell you that the position is that unequivocally that this may not be an investment that is the support of the government, and so we will have to communicate to them the position as it relates to that investment.
The National Meteorological and Hydraulical Services has been collecting data since the 1960s. This data, which is readily available, can be used to track the changes and variability in the climate since then. A high-level meeting which seeks to establish a national framework of weather and climate services in Belize was held at the Green Complex Building Auditorium in Belmopan. It was hosted by the National Met Service in partnership with the World Meteorological Organization. According to Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Disaster Risk Management and NEMO, Dr. Kenrick Williams, this data can be used to inform policy development and operations within the productive sector.
Agriculture, in transport, in energy. If you know the weather, if you understand the hydroclimatic events, these data that the National Met Service provides, then you can use that in your planning. You can use both the short-term and the long-term series data in proper planning. So, for instance, we have the National Climate Outlook Forum, which we have at least once a year. It's usually twice a year, a wet season and a dry season forum, where we bring stakeholders together to provide them an idea of what the forecast looks like for the season, but as well they explore the tools and information that the National Meteorological Services have to give them a sense of what the weather would be like, how it will inform or impact their sectors. And so essentially what we want to do is to scale that up, to see how we can use the data and information that we have, better inform development planning, to better inform policy planning, to better inform, for example, national investments in infrastructure development, to better inform or health management system and reduce health risk. All of this as it relates to climate change, adaptation, building resilience in the country, how we can use this information from the National Meteorological Service to inform some of those building long-term resilience for the country.
Today's discussion included two different levels of stakeholders: partner institutions like the UN systems and international financial institutions, and other development organizations interested in supporting climate change, adaptation, and mitigation in Belize. The collaboration with other line ministries helps with Belize meeting its nationally determined contributions to COP.
Well, part of our NDC is as it relates to some key sectors: transport, energy, waste, and forest, right? Again, the weather and climate will impact these key sectors. How we manage those sectors will inform our commitments. So a transition to energy, for example, and renewable energy, a transition to PV systems, right? Understanding then when are the hot days, when are the longest sun days, those are information that the Meteorological Service has in its database. So the energy sector can use that information to start informing where we have the highest intensity of the sun, the location, you know, the extent, the duration, the time period, the time scales, etc. That is information that they can start using to inform their investments, so that when they look at key geographies, whether it's Pine Ridge or whether it's near the coast or stuff like that, this is the information that they have. When they do that, then it starts to help us to meet these commitments in terms of reduction in emissions. Similarly to our forest sector, one of the information that is provided by the National Meteorological Service is fire risk forecast. The Forest Department uses that fire risk forecast to get ahead of the fire management system, so they get an extent of where they're looking at the key risk, and so with the limited resources they can target so as to reduce the impact from fires on the various forest systems across Belize. With that, then again, when you have the reduction in the fire burns, then of course you have reduced emissions as it relates to these events. No?
The information and data collected by the National Meteorological and Hydrological Services is readily available on the websites. Already, there is an automatic weather station building the capacity of the Met Office to collect data from various municipalities and early warning systems. But CEO Dr. Kenrick Williams says that there is much more to come, including a weather app.
Development of an app that makes the data more accessible, the development of more relevant forecasts. So for example, now we do municipal-based forecasts. Before, as you would know, we would do a coastal and inland forecast. And so now we're transitioning to a municipal-based forecast. It is the hope of the ministry that we will step down that information even further to provide, you know, village level or community level information. So again, that information is relevant and accessible. For the last year or two, we've been working with several projects. The ERCAP project, we've been working with the Rural Resilient Belize project, with the Taiwanese government in building out the extent of our automatic weather stations across the country, both in the marine space and as well as the terrestrial space, filling some key gaps. And then we are then developing the app, ensuring that the information we have in our databases are accessible, but we have to make sure that those information are secured and cannot be manipulated or influenced. So those are the investments that the IFIs are assisting us in securing and improving.
After the break, are senior staffers at the audit department being deliberately overlooked?
My name is Shahida Sahia, and I'm a registered nurse at Central Health Region. Did you miss your appointment for a second dose or booster dose? No need to get a new appointment. Feel free to visit your nearest vaccination site anytime. The staff is ready to assist you and administer the vaccine. Get vaccinated.
Benny's Inter-Office Basketball League, in memory of the late, great Ian Mariano Sr., gives to you 3 monster games this Friday night, August 26th, at the Mexico Sporting Complex in Belize City. 10 Titanic teams have signed up to see who will be awarded with the coveted 2022 IBL Championship ring. Game 1 will feature the Belize Coast Guard Belize Port Authority trying to sail past our national defense as they battle against the Belize Defense Force BISL Power Team. And let's get ready to rumble! Game 2 will be the 3-time IBL champions Rico Black and the Tough Enough Tours Joseph and Taylor team going up against the National Sports Council Belize City Council squad for basketball supremacy. Who won the dance and stop police? The Belize Police Group, led by Andrew Bynum Ortiz, will try to arrest the Central Health Customs, led by Glency Cooper Lopez, in the final game 3 of the night. Just another level! IBL is back on the block, bigger and better, this Friday night at the Mexico Sporting Complex in Belize City, beginning at 7 p.m. sharp. VIP $7, adults $5, and kids under 12 $3. So bring with the entire family for a night of inter-office basketball, y'all. Sponsors: Benny's Home Center, Sprite, Powerade, and Crystal Water. Let's get it on.
Your Tuesday night entertainment is back. KTV The Remix Season 4. KTV. Come on out and win fabulous prizes and the chance to compete in our halftime challenge. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Coney Drive at $3 for children and $5 for adults. Mask will be required. Or you can watch it live on Channel 5 or streaming on Facebook. The show starts at 8 p.m. at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. KTV The Remix Season 4. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Start your engines now for the National MSME Roadshow, geared towards building the resilience of MSMEs and developing a national MSME directory. Sign up for this 3-day event filled with intensive boot camps, presentations, MSME support and formalization clinics, pop-up shops, and more to help you develop and promote your business. The National MSME Roadshow will be in Corozal starting August 24th, Orangewood August 31st, Belize City September 7th, Punta Gorda September 14th, Key Cocker September 22nd, Belmopan September 28th, San Ignacio and San Heleno on October 5th, Sangria October 12th, Placencia October 19th, and closes in San Pedro from October 26th. Learn more and sign up for the National MSME Roadshow by visiting the Beltrade Facebook page or call or WhatsApp us at 613-5139. And let's get your business on the road.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package include 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Summer is coming to an end, so let's end it with a bang. Come see kids from all over the country while they take center stage to show off their talent on Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2022. That's right, Mark your calendars. Friday, August 26th at 6:30 a.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive. Come and start your morning right with kids singing and dancing. Also, come take advantage of great food, entertainment, and loads of back-to-school giveaways, including gifts for the first 100 kids who enter the fest. And the best thing of all, entrance is free. So, what are you waiting for? Set your alarm and pencil in that date because Summerfest 2022 is one event you don't want to miss.
On Monday morning, a letter signed by senior members of the Audit Department was tendered to Chief Executive Officer Rolando Zetina of the Ministry of Public Service. The letter places on record concerns from members of staff with respect of upward mobility within the department. According to the letter, it has been the practice that senior staffers have been glossed over in favor of junior employees for key positions within the department. It is a situation that the Public Service Union is also aware of. This morning, PSU President Dean Flowers spoke with the media about the concerns being raised by his colleagues in the public service.
If one would do an investigation in terms of the amount of complaints that has been levied about that office to the Ministry of Public Service, one could probably write a book. What's unfortunate with this current situation is that we know that the former Auditor General did not enjoy the confidence of her staff, the vast majority of her staff, I would say, to the point that there was a stick out at one point in time to try to get the attention of the government of Belize, and that didn't go anywhere. So when she reached the point of retirement, felt that perhaps there would be some improvement within that office. But it would appear that her successor would have been trained well to keep that atmosphere of animosity going. No doubt there is evidence to suggest that the staff have been victimized and unfairly so by the former Auditor General. I will say that some of the issues that we have been dealing with where their allowances is concerned and where opportunity for upward mobility is concerned, I will say that the current acting Auditor General, I understand, has changed her position where those long-standing grievances for allowances is concerned, and is now in support of the officers getting what they just deserve. But where promotion is concerned, we're giving each and every audit officer in that department an opportunity to be able to move upwards. It would appear that that is the main issue of concern that existed under the former Auditor General, whereby even the current acting Auditor General, her constitutional appointment or her appointment was questioned by the Solicitor General's office, and those records are there.
According to President Flowers, while the Briceño administration has started discussions with the Audit Department, the Ministry of Public Service is not moving fast enough to address the issues being raised.
I will give a little bit of credit to the Ministry of Public Service under this administration, because I know that they have commenced dialogue with the office. They recognize that there are some serious issues within the office, but unfortunately, they're not moving swift enough to try to rescue those situations before things get out of hand or before people get hurt. Because some of the stories coming out of some of these government offices would blow your mind in terms of the frustration that public officers are going through and the manner in which their immediate supervisors and different head of departments, in the manner in which they're treated now.
A Colombian national working in Belize as a computer technician was charged with rape and remanded to Belize Central Prison today after he was denied bail. 46-year-old Luis Alejandro Rios is accused of committing the sexual offense on Sunday upon a 23-year-old woman. While rape is a bailable offense, prosecutor Sergeant Theodore Lopez objected to bail on several grounds. Rios' attorney, Rena Montero Jr., argued that his client should receive bail, but the magistrate denied him on 2 grounds. One, that he is not a Belizean and is a flight risk, and also for the safety of the complainant, since preliminarily, the facts show that Rios attacked her twice. Tonight, 2 fishermen of Belize City are spending their first night on remand after they were charged in Belize City Magistrates Court for the robbery of a maintenance worker. 30-year-old Stanley Wade of a Fobbers Road address and 31-year-old Eugene Fraser of West Canal were denied bail. The allegation is that on Saturday, the pair used a gun to steal a Samsung cell phone valued at $450, along with $500 in cash from 53-year-old Floyd Smith. The 2 accused men pleaded not guilty to the charge and were denied bail until October 24th. In a report to police, Smith stated that on the night in question, he was standing in front of a Chinese shop in front of Youth for the Future Drive when 2 men riding bicycles approached him and one of them pulled out a handgun and pointed it at him, while the other searched his pants pocket and stole his cell phone and money, after which they rode off towards the Conch Shell Bay area. When we return, San Jose signs FPIC protocol for resilient rural Belize corporal. But first, here's the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Go back to school and beyond when you upgrade your smartphone or tablet to a Samsung. The affordable line of high-tech devices are the perfect back-to-school tool that you can fit in the palm of your hands. Whether you're shopping for a starter phone or a high-end device, the Galaxy A series has an option to fit your needs. The awesome lineup includes the A03, A12, A13, A22, A23, A33, and Tab A7 LTE and A7 Lite. So unlock these offers and get your 1-year warranty only when you shop at authorized Samsung resellers countrywide, including Seven World, Digi, Divari, Odette's Home Center, and Westtrack from July 4th to July 31st.
Compostable plastics. To understand what a compostable plastic is, we need to know that composting is a natural way to recycle decomposed organic material like oranges or banana peels. So, a compostable plastic is similar to the banana peel in the sense that it also undergoes biological decomposition in a compost site and doesn't leave any toxic residue. In fact, it breaks down into carbon dioxide, water, inorganic compounds, and biomass at a similar rate of compostable materials. This is great because once properly disposed of, compostable plastic food packaging would be broken down in a manner much kinder to the environment compared to plastics. The recycled materials would return to Earth quickly and safely as soil when disposed of in the right environmental conditions and temperatures. It's important to note that for decomposition to occur, all compostable products must reach a sanitary landfill, where there is proper management of the waste through disposal and treatment. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Summer is coming to an end, so let's end it with a bang. Come see kids from all over the country while they take center stage to show off their talent on Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2022. That's right. Mark your calendars. Friday, August 26th at 6:30 a.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive. Come and start your morning right with kids singing and dancing. Also, come take advantage of great food, entertainment, and loads of back-to-school giveaways, including gifts for the first 100 kids who enter the fest. And the best thing of all, entrance is free. So, what are you waiting for? Set your alarm and pencil in that date because Summerfest 2022 is one event you don't want to miss.
An FPIC protocol, the source of contention that has divided the Maya community in the wake of a consent order from the Caribbean Court of Justice, has been signed by residents of San Jose Village, Toledo District. The endorsement of the document took place on Sunday in the presence of government officials from the Ministry of Rural Transformation, Local Government and Labor, as well as the Ministry of Economic Development. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
The village of San Jose in the Toledo district has signed a free, prior and informed consent agreement, a process that is a relatively new practice in Belize for any activity to be implemented within that community and its environs.
So you might ask the question, why San Jose? And why not another community? Because we recognize that San Jose is a very productive community. You produce cacao, you produce vegetables, you produce grains, you produce livestock, and you are also getting into cardamom and other grains. So we have to find a way to support you so that you can also help yourself.
In November 2018, the government of Belize entered into an agreement with the International Fund for Agricultural Development and the Green Climate Fund for a loan and a grant towards the implementation of the Resilient Rural Belize program. The initiative is a 6-year program with an objective to minimize the impact of climate and economic events on smallholder farmers.
This is a very important process in which we as a people must come together. We must work together. We must join our hands together to bring development for the people of the Toledo district. Because that's what you want. You want development. You want to see improvements. You want to see betterment in your lives. And today, this is setting the foundation for that process.
The FPIC process, as it relates to the Resilient Rural Belize program, is a roadmap that was developed using requirements from IFAD and GCF, as well as the Caribbean Court of Justice's ruling in 2015, along with the Maya of Southern Belize FPI consultation protocol.
This is the first application of the FPIC protocol. And I'm happy that San Jose villagers have come out to participate and exercise the right that the government of Belize has ensured through the FPIC protocol for you to exercise.
On August 21st, eligible villagers consented to an Indigenous Peoples Plan and an FPIC agreement which specified the way forward, including how the project will be implemented, the benefits shared, and a grievance mechanism.
FPIC is a right that you have. The government of Belize has recognized and has put your right into what is called an FPIC protocol. The policy document elaborate the series of procedures to exercise your right. I am happy today to see the villagers, as is customary for the Maya communities in Toledo, that the villagers and not the leaders are the authority to make decisions about the future of their community. And I hope that the project will bring about the kind of development that you have all agreed to. I want to give a word of caution. The government has a duty to respect your right, but you as the villagers also have a responsibility to work with the respective agencies of government so that the collective objective comes about.
The signing of the consent agreement was witnessed by representatives of the Ministry of Rural Transformation, Local Government and Labor. Reporting for News 5, I am Isana Cayetano.
Just ahead, Stake Bank Causeway is still under review.
Hospital Galenia cuenta con las 4 más importantes certificaciones hospitalarias en el mundo, incluyendo la certificación internacional AENOR, que avala las mejores prácticas para evitar la propagación del SARS-CoV-2 en los hospitales.
Más que un hospital.
When all hope is lost and the days ahead look grim, we find ourselves looking for someone to shake things up, rescue us, and point us in the right direction. What if the one we've been waiting for has been here all along? Join us for our new series, Troublemaker, as we learn about a man who wasn't afraid to stand up for what's right to make this world a better place.
Keep still now.
Ouch.
I tell you no move.
Wow. You really can't get a mannequin for this, man? Really?
Well, son, if I never lend you the $2,000 to buy the kids' computer and the book, I may have the money for buy my mannequin.
It's definitely better to borrow from the bank than from your friends or relatives. This way, all you owe is money.
Would you like me to turn around?
That would be good. Turn on, turn on, turn on.
Take advantage of the back-to-school promotion currently being offered by the Belize Bank.
Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo Messi! What an incredible strike from Leo Messi! Neymar and Messi standing over this. Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Belize made waves at the United Nations Conference of the Parties last November in Glasgow, Scotland, getting notice for its exemplary conservation and forest management efforts. The 2022 United Nations Climate Change Conference, commonly referred to as COP27, will be held from November 6th to the 18th in Egypt. But even before then, pre-sessional meetings are being held at the regional and international level. CEO Dr. Kenrick Williams says that the Belize delegation is ready to defend the country's national positions.
We're working at several scales. We're working on national positions as it relates to COP27. As you would know, coming out of COP26, we have a generally agreed Paris rule book. The details of those rules as it relates to Article 6, for example, the market mechanism for carbon and carbon sales, for example, there's some of those details that still have to be unpacked. There's some discussion on loss and damage and a loss and damage financing facility. So there's some of those key thematic areas that's being discussed at the negotiators level and within our various negotiating blocks. As you know, Belize negotiates within CARICOM, first block, then AOSIS, G77 and China, and then within the global block. So our national position is being shored up as it relates to some of the negotiation and preparation by negotiators. I think that push and that trust remains in terms of getting countries to really commit the investments that they made to support adaptation. As we know, a lot of the investments have been made on the mitigation side, but not a lot of the investments have been made on the adaptation side. That is going to be a continuous fight for developing countries, and that's not one that we can give up on. So in these forums, some of the pre-sessionals as well as the regional negotiating positions, the AOSIS discussions, we continue to fight and push this on the agenda so that it doesn't disappear from the UNFCCC's international agenda and the COP negotiating agenda. So it is in these forums we shore up those positions, we look at new approach, innovative approach to trust upon the developing countries, the importance of those investments, the impact of those investments. But we have to continue to scale up, and we have to continue to put the pressure as developing nations, because as you see, we continue to suffer the impacts of climate change.
Key thematic areas such as conservation in marine and terrestrial approaches, as well as the role of indigenous communities in conservation and management, will also be featured by Belize at COP27. Dr. Kenrick Williams also gave a brief comment on the Stake Bank Cruise Port project, where an environmental compliance plan was approved and allowed for the investor to construct a causeway in the Belize harbor, linking the ship docking facility to the mainland. CEO Dr. Williams says that a review process is still underway.
I think that matter is still being reviewed at the Department of the Environment in terms of the environmental clearance and that process. I think it's been 13 years from the time of submission. There's been several ECPs that were signed, and so there's further analysis that we have to do as it relates to that project and get some guidance as well as the highest level as to how we treat with this causeway. So that's still in the review process.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.